Well, of course, as soon as I start recording, the phone rings, but I'm going to plow through here because I want to make this recording a priority. We are hitting that point in the quarter that I think, as nearly lifelong students, all of us recognize as the first 9 weeks is over. And sometimes, with the first 9 weeks being over, some of our old instincts kick in, right? It's sort of the fall doldrums time. It's sort of the everything that we work to get into routine is now in place, but routines get kind of boring. So I just want to first of all encourage you and thank you for keeping up to date on your work and for just plowing through this sometimes tough time of year. Okay. Um, I am looking right now. We're actually past the 9 weeks mark. Just feel, I think my own kiddos are on their quarter end this week, but we started maybe a little earlier. Okay, we're looking at starting a new unit, and this is going to be kind of our final hurrah. And it feels kind of funny, right? Because some of you might have feel like we it hasn't been that long ago since we started this course. I know as I see the research paper pop up here, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, it's that time already. Just to kind of show you that we're going to change, we've been in kind of this routine of every 3 weeks we're writing a paper. We change it up a little bit this time. So I want to give you the big scope and sequence today, and then we'll break it down a little bit. I know that a lot of us have predisposed feelings towards research papers or perhaps maybe against them, and hopefully we'll break through some of those roadblocks mentally and get through this. I actually want you to be excited about this paper because many of you have said, I kind of wish I could pick my own topic and just go with it. I feel like I need more research and support, and then I could really make my paper good. This is your chance. As a college student, I feel like you have the intuitiveness, I guess it would be to say, to choose topics that are well suited for academic research, and that doesn't mean they have to be academic in nature. You can choose a pop culture topic. Choose something that is interesting to you, and we're going to develop it out. It will be an argument, either a persuasive or problem solving paper as per the college's standards for this course. Okay, how is this all going to fit together? Because this is going to overlap our Thanksgiving holiday, which does still happen before Christmas. Hello, retail people. Have you noticed this already? How much Christmas stuff is out? It's crazy. I love Christmas, but that's crazy. It's also catching on in my family because my 12-year-old asks me about every day if we can put up our Christmas decorations because, quote, it makes our house more cozy. Anyway, I digress. Here's where we're going this week. We're going to read a few items. Now, let me clarify, first of all, that all of these represent types of topics or ways of thinking or commentary on analysis and critical thinking that to me, as I read them, I thought, one, they may give you some ideas of where to start for your research, and you are more than welcome to use one of these readings as your start to your research, but you're not limited to them. This is just some practice in seeing some research driven writing, as well as this Plato piece is a metaphorical piece on critical thinking and thinking outside of the cave or the box. So we're just going to start with some reading and discussion this week. The following week, we're well into November at that point, and we're going to be creating our research paper proposal. Now, I know if you took Comp 1 at Northwest, there was an idea of what a proposal paper looked like. I have the research proposal outlined in exercise 5.2, and then these texts right here are just background on writing proposals and research papers. So at the end of the week to come, you'll have your research proposal written. Then we're going to have a full week of just research. There's one exercise to turn in that week, and it's just a required exercise about I believe MLA or APA. I need to go back and look at my own syllabus and make sure. But again, it will be mostly a week dedicated to research and citation structures, just to kind of brush up on that a bit. And then, that's what it is. It's on MLA. I'm back on track now. And avoiding plagiarism specifically is what this particular exercise is about. And then this next piece here, basically by the time we run into Thanksgiving, we are going to have an editing draft that week. And then when you come back, it is a slightly earlier deadline because I have to get these graded and get your grades in. Plus, this is a paper that's supposed to go into your portfolio if you are getting a degree from Northwest State. So that gives you some time to turn it around and maybe make some corrections based on my suggestions and so forth. And you'll be turning that paper in then on December 5th. I'm not sure if the December is the Sunday date or the Friday date. I think it's the Friday date, if I'm remembering correctly. So we'll double check on that. Exam week is the following week, and that's when you'll submit your e-portfolio. So as you can see, this is going to be a bigger unit. This will take us to the end of the course, and this paper will serve as your exam. So what are you doing really this week? Let's jump back into the class and make sure that I'm not muddying the water by all my details of trying to give you the overview. I just didn't want anybody to go into panic mode, but I do think it's a good time to start thinking about your topics and that kind of thing, and that's what this week is supposed to be doing. Because by the time you're writing your proposal, you really are into gathering resources. So if you have any topics you're interested in that you want to shoot to me, that'd be great. I am biased against topics that are worn out and overused. So if there's a topic that's getting a lot of play, I'd rather you either take a totally new angle on it or choose something that is maybe less overdone. I'm not going to list what those things are in my mind necessarily, and I'm not going to penalize you for using one of those topics, but I do want you to think outside the box. I'd like you to try something new, maybe even try something related to your major, or if you need a break from your major, research something that is just interesting to you. Flip through People Magazine, flip through the internet. MSN always has like a news feed of what the big topics are of the day, and maybe something like that would be interesting to you to just find a topic. Okay, so we have the Unit 1 agenda here. We've got the discussion board here, and I'm going to open up the discussion board because that's where the assignment is. You can look at the agenda for an overview. And this Word document is basically just why we're doing this. This is sort of the pre-writing for the big research assignment. And I'm just going to ask you to read any 3 of those 6 texts. And again, you can use them if you're looking for something, but we're looking specifically as we read these for evaluating resources, because we know that not all research out there is really a good source. My favorite example of this is a student who turned in a paper that was arguing against milk. The idea that the milk companies, the dairy farmers, and the big milk organizations have touted milk as a health drink, but it's really not. Totally legitimate article. I mean, take it for what it's worth. You might agree or disagree. That's not my point. Her major source was milksucks.org or .com. And milksucks.com is obviously going to be a very biased source. And so if you were to evaluate that source, you'd recognize that it's not very, probably not your best source. It's propaganda. So as we read this week, we're really looking at how authors evaluate sources and how we can evaluate sources. So it's all about critical thinking. Again, just a discussion board this week. Make sure you include your replies to other students. You're not accountable to anybody replying to you, but do try to mix it up. If you see nobody's gotten any hits on theirs, try to give them some feedback. And if at all possible, have your initial post done by Wednesday so that you can get more replies and have more fruitful discussion going on. Have a great week, and looking forward to rolling into our last project of the year. Have a good one.